on the nuke ground. So that's a good pick from sAw. Inferno from Endpoint is intriguing. Maybe they got pushed in that direction because they couldn't get Mirage because sAw was going to ban that. So, yeah, I think Inferno for them, just felt like the best case scenario. They could have picked an Ancient or a Vertigo and put it into their first. So, a bit of a statement here with Inferno, and I'm not really sure where they're going to be out on Inferno. So, I'm very interested. This is, of the veto, it's the Inferno pick that I'm least sure about here.
Well, we are into the action, so we'll have to see how this Inferno pick goes down. It's very quickly going to have that question answered there, Alan, so there is that at the very least. Either way, CT side start for sAw. They've got the Julies out. 2 players, in fact, have got those Julies out, and they are both together in the apartments looking to take a few names.
Max has a smoke and a flash. Maybe that'll go into A now, but Mutiris does get spotted by Nerds. Big kill. Roman takes space, but they should be aware that Abs is incredibly open right now. There could be another player in the area. And Nurse is just on the edge. Does Nurse spot him? Nurse does get the kill. Massive entries, and wow, this round is already looking impossible for sAw. They're already completely enveloped on A.
Yeah, really patient play coming in, especially from Nurse to catch those players off. And I think that pretty much has to be it. Just is going to try and, find ultimately what is an exit. But nothing coming his way.
I'm guessing Nerds timed the first player. I'm guessing he got down and into the porch area, and then the sAw player comes out of boiler looking only at mid, and Nerds is just already looking at him. So maybe that was where that frag came from. Even so, big round from Nerds. Just is finding a few frags here, but he hasn't got a kit, so this is all for style points. This isn't going to make any difference, and you can see Max not risking this even remotely. Play the clock. And this one's over. Pissed around for Endpoint.
Yeah, just playing around the... I suppose the kill bonus really is just, and you can see he's got a good bit of cash. They are going to buy into it. Just actually drops a scout. So those kills make a difference in the end, you could say.
A question I always struggle to answer with the sAw team, and this isn't limited just to this team, is who are the star players beyond one person? And that used to be Stadodo, and now it's U-Jerks. I genuinely don't know who the other stars in this team are. I think Story is... Story's a bizarre player because he was on sAw, he replaced Stadodo as the AWP while Stadodo was still on the team, then he comes off sAw, and then he comes back onto sAw. It's a bit like... It kind of rings of just a lack of talent in the Portuguese region to get around it. They're just kind of settling on Story. Maybe he can prove us wrong, I'd love him to. But put it this way, I don't think sAw's going to be a better AWPer than NHL.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. Pretty slow start into this round. A tag on to MHL, it looks like, from this scout of Story. Moving their way towards middle, getting the brackets control, but also feigning brackets control. 50 seconds left. It's actually just Mighty Max backing off to get a smoke down towards Moto there. Where's the end game here? There's 4 players ready to go on this sAw side of things. Maybe too slow, maybe too telegraphed. They are going to have these rifles. Oh, pick up the game. Shoulder peeks from both players. 30 seconds. Are we going towards B here? I think not, actually, as that smoke goes down on the old B fake around. We've seen it quite a lot today. They're going to go via long towards A and split the defense somewhat. 2 players in on the site itself. 2 players out towards Library. Mutiris is the only one that's able to make any noise. Still another player in the form of Story, but it's just not going to happen for them. And once again, we look at a save here for sAw.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where, yes, it in essence is quite telegraphed from Endpoint, but it's also quite clinical, isn't it? They take that long control, they put down the archway and library smokes, and there's sAw players are just behind them. They've only got 2 actually on the site, so in spite of having numbers in the right area of the map, they just can't get through that utility in a good manner. So, yeah, slow, steady, somewhat telegraphed from Endpoint, but it was well executed enough for it not to be a problem.
Everyone survives, nice and happy in the corner. sAw will be back through with an eco round here, so again, not expecting too much from them. Endpoint, pretty methodical in the last. They really are, I think, bringing an immediate disciplined A game to this series. At least that's the way that it feels. We have seen, you know, with Falcons in the mix earlier on. I suppose a lack of discipline is not controversial to say.
Yeah. I think it's... might be the slightly wrong way to put it. I don't think it's them getting super overzealous. It's more like not being aware of the boundaries and not always being on the same page versus, you know, just full caution to the wind, just playing with no care in the world. Of course, with the veto here, I really don't think Endpoint are going to win Nuke. I'd be pretty stunned. They would have to put a lot of work into it as a player break, I think. This Inferno pick, one that was a little bit borderline from my perspective, does need to come good, I think, if they want to take this to a free map series.
They're looking for it. They're certainly looking for it. Oof. Heavy God's just able to find one before going down. It's mainly information that he's going to gather. He sees 3 more players, so they can very quickly hit this 4B bomb site. AK's covering each other. Story on the scout. Can't find any more, and a cheeky pre-fire there from Surreal will mean that he's able to take down his opponent on the opposite side. So here we go. Now going to get a bit more interesting. Rifle buy comes out.
Couldn't really call this a bonus for Endpoint. All the bells and whistles minus an AK on max. AWP in play from MHL. And we'll see what they got for us. It's been some very slow rounds so far. I would not necessarily expect that to continue now we're on buy rounds. Here we go. Bit of a default thus far. Playing out of Banana. Nerds sat way down the bottom. Few nades, prime to go. Max is holding flashes. sAw here, 3 players. They really want this banana control. Nerds is actually going to come in and fight. I don't think he's aware there's this many players here. This could get really scary fast. Such an odd start. I mean, sAw used all their nades and didn't try to hold on to banana there.
Yeah.
They burn everything in one smoke from Nerds and then a flash to go through the deep smoke. And they've lost everything.
Oh, that basic flash around the corner. Catches Mighty Max with nade in hand. Trades her back through thick and fast, though. All too easy. And they've got to know that there's one more on B, right? Where did that flash come from? If not from someone positioned further back. So, lots of info to go with. Going to look to group up as Surreal joins the pack. Leaving Heavy God on a lurk play. Just tries to take the initiative. Doesn't work for him. And that's got to be the round 4v2. Bomb plant will come in momentarily, and the smoke is actually replenished there as well. So, yeah, everything looking rosy for Endpoint.
Composed, I think is the word, isn't it? Very happy to apply the brakes. There, they knew they had a 3-on-1. Nerds could have gone down without a trade, so it could have been a little bit scary, but he finds the frag. You wouldn't have bet against him in the form he's been in the last 6 or so months. Looking very handy. Great start for Endpoint, and yeah, sAw just getting no traction at all. So that round was really bizarre. I can't believe they put so much effort into Banana and then just stopped fighting it.
Yeah, really curious, because, you know, we looked at that execute and everything. There was no nades left for sAw to really answer back. They had that one flash play, which kind of worked, but the Endpoint boys weren't in deep enough. Very, very curious. I think I'm definitely on your side that it just does not quite make sense that they didn't at least keep one on the corner or at car and then went for a late retake of a banana that they should have had control of anyway. There's a few hiccups here, a few hiccups. They are going to use a timeout pretty early on into the game. 4 in a row for Endpoint, looking good while doing so, and I think that, yeah, sAw recognized how shaky their start has been.
Okay. Back live. sAw could have forced dropping these M4s for some more, but they've decided to play the long game. Half buyout. Endpoint will know that this is the likely course. They'll know it's either a force buy or this sort of half buy scenario, so no need to get super aggressive. You don't need to play this like a standard gun round. They never have the weaponry. So yeah, sAw, points approved. They need to show us something here. Who can get us an opening? Who can be aggressive? U-Jerks normally is the man, and yeah, to really be activated is he on the CT side.
Well, here's a good round, hopefully for someone to get a little aggressive, a little cheeky. We got the two M4s in play. At the moment, it's heavier towards B, which it's pretty curious. Yesterday, we saw sAw playing 4 on A quite confidently against Babos. I know this is only a half by round, but we have seen them in a couple rounds go for 3 on B. Some kind of a counter, or nervous about their B defense, maybe? I don't know.
It could be prep, but Endpoint hasn't used this lineup for a little bit, so hard to know where that's coming from. MHL posted up against the first, and I think this player on the porch is absolutely dead to rights. Indeed, they are. sAw and Nurse pretty low, so kind of getting checked here. Nurse is only on 41 HP. He needs to find one and get out, and that's perfect. Seasonal players, calls for help. They know A's wide open, is the last player. Regin will be screaming at them right now, just stop fighting, get the bomb down. And this is round over.
Once again, simply going through the motions. It has, pace-wise, it's a bit slower than our last Inferno, but still fits into where Inferno plays in the map pool.
I think the difference is so far that we haven't seen a lot of T rounds, but just off my experience with Endpoint anyway, is that Sprout more likely to be super explosive and try and force an issue. Endpoint's probably more reserved, and they'll call a slower round and then try and make a good mid to late round call. Versus, if Refresh sees a gap, he's probably going to go for it.
All right.
Someone needs to make a play, don't they, on sAw?
Good bit of insight. Yeah, I
They
think
need
so,
an
right?
entry.
They're really just sitting back and letting Endpoint run the show with very little contest, right? And then they can just kind of wind the clock down and use the numbers, especially if they're consistently finding opening picks as they are. It just looks very timid, maybe nervy from sAw. I don't know quite how to explain it, but maybe they are surprised by the Inferno pick somewhat. Right, that might be something to consider. Nice find from Story, just on a passive angle. Heavy God goes for a wide swing. Nothing comes of it. And that is the first one in a while, if at all in this game, actually, that we've seen sAw gain a lead.
What if they made noise? I mean, I don't blame Heavy God, but what is not a common play for an AWP to be posted on that sort of angle. They're normally holding on to mid from either the long side or the boiler side. So entry does go the way of sAw. Endpoint used a lot of utility to try and fight for Banana early, and this time around, it's sAw that has the big advantage. Just still has a full nade set with 40 seconds remaining. Can buy a lot of time here. And surely these nades are going to come in soon. Probably got a noise cue there as well. Here comes the smoke, and wow, with 35 seconds left. Do Endpoint save? This doesn't look easy.
MHL misses the window just by a sliver. Nade going to come down as well. Decent damage onto Max. Not looking good. Boost up. I mean, 15 seconds to hit the B bomb site with 3 players in very, very, very good spots. A nice little flash comes in for just to make a solo play. And that's going to be all she wrote, surely, for this. Surreal and Nerds. I mean, they've got cash, but, futile, isn't it? Just grab the AWP and get out. And that is exactly what they go for.
MHL was so close to winning that, wasn't he? If he gets that kill once he's boosted up, suddenly it's, there's players sprinting through that smoke. Enveloping B. Better round from sAw. more reserved with the nades. And that ultimately is the round winner, isn't it? That smoke, the Molotov buys so much time. They're 3B by the time Endpoint are really amassing themselves onto the site. So, better round from sAw, and we need a lot more of that if they want to recover this CT side.
Decent nadage coming in from sAw. The banana control that they've kind of shakenly taken in the past, again, seems to do the same. Not keeping numbers around. They'll use the nades, but then they'll just back off pretty quickly. It is kind of curious. I don't know, is there any thinking behind that, you reckon, or no?
Hard to say. Hard to say. The thing that's confusing me at the moment is that Nerds is using he's not using a standard half-wall smoke, he's using kind of a bounce smoke off the half-wall that you'd normally use if you're going really fast up banana because you can get in front of it. So I'm sure he's got his reasons, I'm sure it's planned, but I'm more used to seeing the standard smoke.
Well, they've retaken that banana control on the endpoint side of things. Just about enough utility to go for a B hit. 2 mollies, 2 flashes, 2 smokes. I think that will just about do you. That is what you need. MHL's going to get those flashes in hand.
They'll know there's still a nade set on B, so they need to be really explosive.
Oh, the smoke comes in as well. They're going to have to go through it just as it goes down. Nade on towards the player, in towards Coffins. Nerds does actually manage to find the kill. U-Jerks, though, he gets surreal in the meantime. Molly's gone down, drop the bomb. This is all a bit crazy once again. 25 seconds. Alert from Heavy God in towards middle if you look. Bomb going to go down. Safe plan. Not going to be denied that one. Either way, it's a 4 versus 3 on the retake here. Another challenge for sAw to overcome. They've only just managed to get on the board, for goodness sake. They're doing their damnedest here. They are doing their absolute damnedest, but just a kit and a flash, and that AWP as well. Really awkward. MHL, speaking of, misses out on a shot. Mighty Max getting himself on the board. Story does take out his compatriot on the other side, but it's too little too late.
Felt like they should have saved, isn't it? Or if they didn't, maybe if they kill an MHL around new box, you go, but yeah, that was never going to happen, that retake. Yeah, I mean, it's just a simple CS from Endpoint. I guess maybe they got prep that says sAw is very, very unlikely to lean 3B or something that early on. They pop in, and I think Nerds wins them the round, to be honest. That was a messy round when they went in through the smoke, wasn't it? It's Molotov down in front of the site. Nerds is taking the world's most awkward duel coming off the little lip by first oranges. If Nerds didn't stay alive then get the kill, I don't think they win that round at all. I don't think it's even possible. So, huge credit to Nerds bailing them out when it got a little bit scary.
Aggression in the apartment's going to be the answer from sAw, apparently. Contact AWP to head down. How far does it go? Just going to hold the angle. So there is certainly potential, right? But I think it may well have been seen or heard. You can see Surreal and Heavy God pretty passively, yeah, playing around the apartments, and Roman's going to eat a fair chunk of damage. So not a bad start for Endpoint.
Saw this earlier, didn't we? Feels like a flash is going to be coming in very soon. U-Jerks, you tear us up close. MHL's on the angle. The flashbang surely is going to catch him. But he still hits the shot. Pulls the trigger. Nerds not wided up at all. And Noah Third is here, so there's no need to get overzealous. They don't really have the numbers here towards B, and Nerds is going to apply a little bit of pressure. And now they'll play the long game. 45 seconds remaining. Heavy God's still here in the apartments, so yeah, big advantage, but they need to just keep a little bit of an eye on the clock, don't they?
Nice find onto Heavy God. He's always on the lurk at the moment. They seem to be just letting him do his own thing. Just going to be alone on B. No one to even flash him, so he's just sat inside the smoke. Decent timing. Drops a bomb. Maybe needed one more. But it is a 2 versus 2 as the AWP of Story gets shut down by Nerds. Having an absolute game right now, isn't he? 9 and 2, hoping for a bit more from Roman, who, by the way, is 30 HP from an earlier engagement. So this one looks all but over. Are any mess-ups? Endpoint should be here 7-1. Roman trying to keep creep in, sorry. It's all about the positional advantage for this guy. He could find one of them in the back. Oh, unlucky. The timing gets the better of him, though, of course. I think he just retrieved a smoke to try and go for a ninja defuse. Not going to happen. 7-1 on the board. And Endpoint looking really good here on the T side.
Got a little bit nerve-wracking. The reason Heavy God walks out apartments is to see if it's a B stack. He walks out, he sees one player. That's pretty much good enough confirmation that Endpoint going B is a good bet. They go in. I don't know how the player got through the coffin smoke, but apart from that, yeah, very clean. Looking good, and when Nurse is hitting headshots like this, any round looks better, doesn't it? So, looking good so far. No surprises. They're sort of taking another time out there. They just can't live with the defaults at the moment. They just can't, for whatever reasons, get banana control, or maybe they should start seeding it a lot more and sitting on nades. They just can't seem to find a happy medium, can they? They had that one round where they saved the nades and it looked good. But apart from that, they're kind of getting forced to play Endpoint's game.
Yeah, stuck. Very, very stuck for ideas. And I think that just comes from the early rounds where they were, very timid. And Endpoint able to just abuse them and have now built up, a shield of confidence almost on the Endpoint side to really sell these ideas, really sell the approach they're going for. Nertz especially continues to dominate. Him and Surreal actually in MHL, not too far behind, really having great individual performances.
Push. Look at Roman.
Oh, hello. He's getting one. Surely he's getting one.
I think he'll kill Max, right?
Oh.
I lose this fight. It's not...
He's sneaking.
Someone's about to scream. Whoever dies first here is going to be screaming.
Yep, there goes Max and the bomb, somewhat importantly. And they've lost track of him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, MHL. Someone needs to kill this guy. Oh, not like this, Roman! Okay. Do not give that guy any space at all. Heavy God then. Let's see what he's got for us. Not very much. And that'll be a disastrous round. But a hell of an individual performance there from the big man.
Oh my God. Well, seeing rounds like that makes me very glad I'm not in the coaching slot. Jesus Christ. Gets fully in behind, drops Max. Clearly hectic comms. I don't blame them, but clearly Nurse didn't have a clue when he swung around the corner. Maybe they should have taken more time to clear the player out, but wow. Well, if sAw needed a lifeline, they just got a big one, didn't they?
See what they can do with it. Definitely need to turn it into a little bit more. I mean, 7-2 is still a rough scoreline to be on the end of, so we'll take that round in its isolation. MHL nearly gets blocked by his teammate, but all good. He's going to find the opening pick for this one.
Late beat take. Very late beat take. Thank God Nurse is a smoke. But he leaves the one on Surreal. So I don't have a lot left. Endpoint will know it's at least 2B right now. And time is starting to dwindle a little bit, so pick up the pace a tad. Flashbang comes in. They'll know it's still 2B for sure now. I think it's time to go A, lads. You know it can't be that many there. And now they're starting to clear.
Just on high. Takes down Max. It was a bit of a fake out over here, I think, to maybe draw some attention. Little do they know the 2A defenders are stacked in the site. I still like the move. Heavy God gets out long and go through their own moto. Smoke should be able to get the player on hold if he's needed. I mean, Heavy God's just a distraction at the end of the day. 3 versus 2. Quick rotation from U-Jerk's going to try and move through the smoke here by the looks of things. Surreal ready for him. Very ready for him, and just.
Time to save.
Picks up the AWP and goes to save. Yep, see you later.
I'm a little surprised Endpoint won that. A little surprised.
The B cell was a big fake.
Yeah,
sorry, it was a big risk.
They had no nades. It was Max just ran into his death.
Yeah.
True. I mean, Surreal and MHL got some big A entries to make that one work. I think I think sAw just crumbled on the A defense. Like, I can't see any other explanation. Maybe there was a bit of an over-rotation, but I don't know. They need to be getting more out of these setups, don't they? That's a certainty in these rounds. Nothing's working for sAw. I mean, Story goes down early, and wow, it just there's as many holes as a colander at the moment. Seemingly everything's going wrong.
Very tough to deal with indeed. As it's a pretty nice keyboard.
Where's the mouse?
I don't know.
Is that one of those PCs that predates needing a mouse, where it's just all code?
Maybe. I swear, isn't it the one that sometimes there's a chance that like Stanley Parable will be playing on it? Might be Portal, one of the other Valve titles anyway. Banana Rush coming in from both sides. Brilliant Molotov to really make life awkward here. U-Jerk's going to get 2. And that is very well played from sAw. See, they can take Banana, and they can take it effectively. Just maybe not been given a chance to show that they can do that as much as they'd like.
Yeah, finally, first time. Endpoint reacting. They do know it was a heavy B start, so no reason not to force out mid-control. That's going to bring sAw over in numbers. Even Just is playing retake B right now, so Endpoint will still probably be a little nervous retaking Banana. They don't know it's been given. Flashbang there should alert U-Jerks to get back over. And certainly a lot of noise cues. Yeah, they need to go fast here, and someone needs to hit a hell of an entry to make this one work.
Well, they are moving in fast. They're going to get this CT player out of sorts. Just is only half HP, not being watched for, traded. It's MHL and Heavy got the newer additions to see and show what they can do 4 versus 2. Heavy got looking for an aggressive peek. Oh, they line up! Oh, no! Okay, Roman and Mutiris then, they're now split. And they've got 2 to find. Mutiris has been spotted. Roman is unknown. Heavy God is baiting around his teammate here, right? They're both on top of each other, but they think they can isolate Heavy God in these duels. Not ready for the second. It works onto Roman. There's not a lot of time on the bomb. Flash comes in. Mutiris going for the hold. Oh, so very awkward onto the Tech 9. He actually manages to get the defuse. You are kidding me.
No!
You have got to be joking. You have got to be joking. Oh, no. MHL, he just doesn't go wide. I don't know why he didn't go wide. He was trying to shoot his toes off.
He thought he had the kill, I think. He thought, I'm doing some damage. I'll just hold down mouse 1. Oh, no. This is the the timeout where you just saying calm down, isn't it?
Jesus.
What? Well, they need to stay calm because they have limited the CT money. I mean, it's not a great look, but it's still a good position they're in. They've still got a great buy. sAw could be put onto pistols in the following. But yeah, a little bit of a discussion. Also, probably a quick talk about how they lost the banana frags kind of seemingly without resistance early on. Here we go again. You see here, that moment, I think he just thought he had the kill.
He did run out of ammo. Just caught there. He was on 0. So he did run out of ammo as well, which doesn't help. Wow.
Crikey. Even so. Even so. That's what it took for sAw to win a round, put it that way. They got a 2-man entry. That was a 5-on-3. And it still came down to that. Far from convincing from the Portuguese squad.
Well, banana aggression light this time around, but still works for them. A 1-for-1.
Ooh.
As Surreal manages to find a frag. Roman should have a freebie here in just a second. Heavy God, he's been in the apartments quite a lot.
No.
So, he continues to push. And Roman gets another, thanks to Surreal being low from his earlier fight. 3 versus 2 there. 4. And MHL somehow wins that one. Story will be kicking himself. He had the second that he needed to find the frag. MHL on the AWP. Looking good, looking hot. In comes the support of Mighty Max. Mighty it is. They will win the A bomb site, and they should be able to win the day just on an MP9 against 2. MHL going to meet him towards the short. He doesn't really check the angle, and MHL will pull off a nice round. 15-4 is the newest addition to this squad.
He needed that
Lovely
to redeem
stuff.
himself.
He definitely did after that moment. I think he was spurred onwards by frustration,
Yeah.
it's safe to say.
Well, I imagine Reggie would have been saying in the pause that their money's a disaster. It doesn't matter, guys. We can still break their cash. We can still easily get double digits. Another pause comes in. They're really racking through them, aren't they? I wonder maybe a little bit of discussion about what happened in the apartments. I don't think there was any particular problem. They look pretty good to me. More on from a sAw perspective of how many rounds have we seen where they've either had a man advantage or been in a good position and they just can't seem to... I mean, how often has Endpoint ran into a crossfire? It just feels like we're losing one, we're losing one, we're losing one. When that should never be happening. It should always be, you know, 1-2 punches.
Well, moving up to 9, Endpoint are really starting to get scary with where the scoreline is at, to be honest, Alan. Any further than this, and I think that we start to look at this as a map 1 being over and done with. So I've got a lot to answer for in the next 3 rounds. Well, rather it'd be the next 2 rounds, right? Because we don't expect anything from this one.
No. And just thinking about it, Endpoint could have taken the pause because we know what happened on the last anti-eco. So maybe a quick discussion of this is how we're going to play this. No risks. Heavy God, look at him. he's in T-apps. No chance of that. Flashbang comes over. Catches them badly. Nurse is going to go down. They're going to fight this. That bomb is out in the open. Max is going to have to give it up. So AK handed on to that CZ side. And a man advantage. Does feel like Nurse has been called a few times, doesn't it? By the flash plays.
Yeah, it certainly does feel that way. He's generally towards the front of the pack, I suppose. So.
It's not necessarily his fault, but he is getting let out to dry a little bit.
Just. Oh, first port of call. He's got a scary weapon on his back as well. Going to give them the space and nice wide smoke that he can work with. Maybe try and play above the top of as well. And he catches MHL. Any kill is a good kill from here on in then. Just gets another. Flashes working for him, against him. Eventually finished off, but another pistol round that looks like it could be very doable. 4 versus 2. U-Jerk finds another on the 5-7 coming around the corner from Coffin. And it's all down to Surreal. Does not know how close they are in Banana. And Endpoint once again drop a silly round.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Despite winning, you can't help but feel frustrated if you're Endpoint. You've lost 2 anti-ecos and a round where MHL should have definitely won in a one-on-one. So it's a weird complex at the moment where, I mean, on the gun rounds, they look sensational. But on these anti-ecos, Nurse goes down, no chance of a refrag. And there. I'm amazed Surreal couldn't see the play on top of Coffins there. That did look a bit bizarre.
Well, newfound confidence, it would appear. As Muterius will take down Surreal. Flash comes round, trying to work off the back of the pot. Muterius, though, has good potential to just mow them all down. A 5-7 of Story to come in for the assist, but it's actually Muterius to get the ace. A nice way to get themselves back in the game and get that bare minimum of 5 on the board.
Okay, then last round of the half. sAw can still make this 6. It's not been pretty. They've been handed, you know, more lifelines than Who Wants to Be a Millionaire at this point in this half. So you can't imagine they're going to keep coming. But if they get up to 6 rounds, I mean, at least it's possible. At times in this map, they haven't even remotely looked in it, and it looks like we're going for another very fast Banana take. This time, Endpoint, no interest in playing inside of Banana. They know what happened last time. Just give it. Don't give them the frags.
Keep it all to yourself at this point, I think, and indeed, they're going to do this time around. The Banana control has been much stipulation throughout the course of this first half. A mid-attack then bursts through the smoke. Oh, and it's Story that they meet. That is very unfortunate. Surreal's going to go for a chase. Maybe he doesn't recognize it once crossed. Will go down, but not before he finds 2. Very well done indeed. Heavy God, meanwhile, as always, is on the slow approach. Out through short. Probably heard that there's one in pit. There goes the molly, and you would imagine the peak will come with it. No, Heavy God again is moving relatively slow, and it works out. It's a real hit-ish shot. As down to just you jerks, who's left very low. A dink from the Galil, I believe. And 7 HP the difference. Not going to be enough. 10 to 5 at the turn of the half. A really solid attacking side from Endpoint comes in. The Inferno pick, it was questioned at the beginning, but now looking good. We'll see in the second half.
Broken bones and a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans. In a quiet town, bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn a flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get you. I'm coming.
Back straight into the action then. We are here, half two of Endpoint sAw. Endpoint looking very fearsome in that T side. So we'll see whether that continues for them moving forwards. Of course, we've got the pistol here getting underway, and it's going to be 3 men at dark with a 4th holding CT. So they are very ready for a B hit, it would seem. MHL goes to do some digging. And they are indeed correct. Okay, awkward kill. But he will get it on the board, and I think that starts to give the game away. You jerks on the lurk. Mighty Max here to bait them in. I even give his life to bait them in. We'll see. CT smoke comes through. And, well, now the stack is up. The issue is they're going to continue to fight. I was going to say maybe they look to go somewhere else, but no. They are happy to get these Glocks up close and personal, especially just finding 2 heads. They're not ready for the 3rd man, though. It's Nerds at the back end of the site. He drops 1. He maybe needs a little bit more from here. It's Max to chime in fact, but the bomb's going to get dropped nonetheless. 55 seconds. Nerds on 7 HP. This is absolute carnage on the B bomb site. It's hard to tell who's going to come out on top, though. Mutiris with a P250. And they are not giving him an inch. Max on a little bit of a shoulder peek.
Nurse can just play off Max's contact. There's no reason here to get overzealous. Only thing that's slightly scaring them is a wrap into ruins. Mutiris, oh, the timing's perfect. And Nurse can't peek in time. Nurse in a lot of trouble. One bullet. He has to clean headshot Mutiris. He's actually going to fall out for a second. All on Nurse. Instant kill required. Oh, he's getting very, very close indeed. Peeking around the pillar. Oh, that was close. It was close, but no cigar. And I'm sorry, Endpoint, but if you're 4-stacking B when they come in, you probably need to be winning the round.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be frustrated with that one. They do get... I mean, Max especially gets mad unlucky on that timing. It was the slimmest window, but perfect peak.
It's pretty odd. I mean, the triple
yeah, I don't know.
Dark. I mean, so for those who
sAw must run B more often than not.
But it's also the idea of Nertz is fully tucked in the back. They're going to call 2 dark, and they're never going to expect the 3rd. But having now seen it play out, would you not rather have that 3rd player fighting with the other 2 from New Box or Second Oranges? I don't know. Food for thought for them.
Oh, nice find onto Heavy. Got a tap and nade. It's going to be another 4-man stack, though. Oh, flash comes round. Mighty Max going to find 2. Big nade finishes off another. Let's go, Max. And I don't know that Nertz has been fully activated. Once again, sAw are moving into the site despite there being so many bodies already shown. I suppose they're too deeply committed, and that is indeed the case. They will all go down. The force buy very, very successfully goes the way of Endpoint, in particular, Mr. Max with the 4K.
He does this. He does this. He's never going to be at the top of the scoreboard. The team isn't designed that way, but he does have those moments. You're like, where did that come from? What's going on? Massive 4K. That rights all the wrongs of the pistol round. I mean, look at the buy here from sAw. There's no bomb plants, so pistols, 1 Mac 10, some smokes. I guess that's nice, but unless one of these guys can generate a really aggressive entry, it's going to be so hard to get past these rifles.
Yeah, they are in that financial situation where it's like, what can you do, really? But I'm very much on board with what you're saying. It's going to be really, really tough from here on in. They need to thin the economy at the very least. And even that feels like a tall order with the buy that they have. And again, an interesting kind of setup. 3 towards short for the side of Endpoint. I think they understand the position they're in. Pull out a cheesier round than you would usually. Try and find themselves a clean entry. And that's exactly how it's going to go. I mean, the flash is designed for the port player. It's successful on here. Maybe MHL should have found a little bit more. The 3rd player, again, not quite expecting. The damage is massive, but the kills actually go the way of sAw. Which, 3 at short, it's another setup that you say you should be finding those kills, guys. And they don't. The A-bomb side of Inferno is really, really hard to retake. And they've got a moto replenishment, right? So I just don't think that this is going to happen.
Yeah, Endpoint might do. I mean, they've got the smoke out the side of the bomb site. Okay, I think they're going to go for it now.
Yep, flash comes in. The retake smoke is there to give them the space. Heavy gone. And Dodgy does get blinded up, I think, by U-Churks, and now just going to be into the one-on-one. Max going to go for the hold. The smoke's in the way, but he still manages to find him. He just knows the lineup too well. And that will be sAw nicking one right back.
3rd anti-eco / force. They had a massive weaponry advantage there. sAw only had a couple flashbangs. I can only assume one of those was absolutely devastating to the CTs in short. Wow. I'm a little bit taken back. Endpoint just... It's always been like this. Make it so hard for themselves. If Endpoint win, even... I don't know. If they win 2 of those 3 anti-egos that they've lost, this game is pretty much done.
Yeah.
It's the only reason sAw's... It's the only reason we can even have a conversation about sAw being in this map.
Yeah, and we have a tough one in Nuke coming up next, right? I think that sort of the mental game, they've got to be on their most confident selves, and there's some frustrating rounds that are happening here. Some very frustrating rounds.
Probably it's worth saying that, of course, having officialed in a long time, you're never going to catch those mistakes in a scrim. Only under pressure are you're gonna lose to pistols like this.
Yeah, big time. But they've had a nice start to this round, actually. Heavy God finds himself a clean headshot, and he keeps that. Big nade goes through. It doesn't quite land. Mighty Max not able to find the frags. In comes the flashes from the Nertz MP7. Oh, he's going to join, and he finishes too, but they both survive. Oh, that's the MP7, isn't it? I think not being used to using it, maybe. Roman, the only healthy one. Surreal, it's a very doable 1v3. That info's got to be there that the tags have landed. Even on a reaction shot with this player up top, you might be able to get it done. Slowly creeping round. Well, just mincemeat. Easy prey for Mood Serious in the end. Close. Good to keep the damage up, I suppose, but that was one with Nertz's smoke play that could have happened for them.
Yeah. I mean, it might look a little bit silly from Nertz, but he's got, that's one bullet on each of them away from being the play of the map, isn't it? So it was a very good effort. Endpoint almost resetting. And sAw, well, I said it in the first half. I mean, they're being given... If sAw, I'll put it this way, if sAw don't win this map, they can't complain, can they? They've been given so many chances to get ahead economically or, get back into the map when nothing's working on the gun rounds.
On the USPs, return flash is pretty solid. Looking like it's going to be an easy one. No five-man stacking going to find anything at all. Nope, nothing at all. So up to 9. This gap has been closed pretty quickly here, Alan. You start to worry for Endpoint. We're looking really, really solid in the first half. This second half has been anything but.
Yeah, the buy's not that good, is it? Because of the reset and the full force. Not full nades. Max and Heavy God, fortunately, they're... well, Max is definitely a B player. It used to be Nertz. We'll see who's heading over there. In this round, Heavy God's at least coming this way for now. So they've got 2 nade sets. They could think about a banana take, but if they use a lot of this util on banana and don't get the control, then suddenly, come the late round, they're not going to really have anything.
It seems like sAw are maybe going to play for the late round as well. I'm not quite sure whose smoke that is, but it's not meant to be there.
CT smoke, I think.
Yep. See Daisy. Just going to find the head of Heavy God moving in. Speaking of CT, there's nobody now on B. So surely just this call to save from Endpoint.
You might as well commit to the stack. Put it that way.
Because you never know. 1 kill. They're not committing fast. Heavy God managed to get his smoke down before he died.
Yeah,
actually
and they never would have expected it to be 4A at that point in the round.
I mean, could work.
It's an interesting... I think Endpoint you just... Even now, even though you've pushed back into mid, I think you still just commit to this. Pray they come this way.
Roman's the first target. MHL, I think, can just see the tip of his shadow, maybe a toe. It is going to be a B hit, unfortunately, in the end, so not a hope in hell this round. Endpoint will move for the save. Maybe they can take one down with them, but 11-10, just like that in this half. Only just started, it feels like.
Yeah, the T-side money is good. If Endpoint can keep these 4 guys alive, their buy will be better than in the previous because they'll have full nades. So very important to keep these rifles going. But yeah, sAw could certainly make the case. They maybe, by the merits of their own play, they shouldn't be this close, but they are capitalizing on all these opportunities placed in front of them. I can't believe this game is this close. Endpoint were decimating them in that first half.
Yeah, they really were. MHL going to look to survive. I think they will be able to survive this one. MHL's found himself a couple on the AWP, so that shores up that fact. But yeah, the CT end has been very, very weak indeed. They won a force buy, right? That's where their 1 round comes from, if you are perhaps just joining us. But they have not found any consistency with this. A little bit unlucky in the last round. I will say, although it's 11-10, we've only had the 1 rifle round. You've got to bear in mind because of just the way the economy has fluctuated. So,
We'll say they probably should have won that pistol round.
yes, also true.
They had-
Also true.
I mean, what more could you have wanted with that sort of setup? MHL, whoo. Story, you're going to put your head up. This is... Whoo. Oh. It's Story. Story wins out. And that feels like a big moment, doesn't it? Clean entry to kick off this round, a round where Endpoint needed to stabilize. Very tough decisions now to follow in how Endpoint play out this round.
Nertz has picked up the AWP, so we'll see what he's got on the big green. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. A guessing game is what it became there when you commit to that angle. If you are correct, if you are even fast enough, because I mean, that head peek up, man, it's pretty quick. It's one thing to go for a sideways peek. It's one thing to go for an uppy-downy peek. Sideways, though, for Nertz is pretty solid. Back into a 4-on-4.
He's really grown into a star player, isn't he? He just recognizes that we're man down. Someone's got to do something. I'll pick up the AWP. I'll re-peek. I'm not really scared. And Surreal takes down Roman, getting a little bit overzealous. Shot hits for Story, but not the frag. And Endpoint are playing full retake here on B. Heavy God seeded the ground, so... Meteorus does have all this control, but look at the bomb, though. So far off. God, this ED smoke is going to be gone. Oh, fortunately, Story has another. Okay. Should be an easy cleanup for Endpoint.
Still only 20 seconds, yeah. That's sort of the big thing at this point. And Heavy God is chilling. Nade, massive. Heavy God's got the info in then. Might be able to kill out the planter. Doesn't do so. There's a couple tags that have landed here, so they do have to be careful with the reapproach. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just inside the smoke, gets an easy one onto Max. Doesn't get traded out. Heavy God has been Bogdan's the AWP. Story, tagged. There's a nade. It needs to land. It's just going to be Surreal's rifle, apparently, to work its way in, baiting out Nertz a little bit. And they will get it done thanks to the numbers. But that was, again, touch and go. To be honest with you, they'll keep the lead, but only just.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit rocky. Roman clearly didn't expect Surreal to be on the porch. That probably was where the round was lost, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, they did a pretty good try in the afterplant from the SAW guys, but not enough. The one kind of silver lining is they did, you know, keep the money pretty low for Endpoint. This is by no means out of the woods. We all know how difficult it can be to manage the CT economy, especially in the modern day. So, all eyes on Endpoint, I think, chain some rounds together here.
Just the nades ringing out for now. No action quite yet. SAW are going to decide to go through them. It's much more aggressive B-hold than it has been in the past few rounds. Max at first. Be good for one. Heavy God's been spotted out at new as well, thanks to the smoke. Molotov goes down, but it doesn't really reach him. Look at all this damage that's coming in through smoke with nades. Heavy God has done so much to buy time. And down goes the CT smoke. Nertz sticks around for two. MHL will strike true as well. 13-10. Endpoint are back in the swing of it.
I mean, that's just CSGO. How one of those mollies didn't actually take and start burning. Bit of misfortune from SAW. Bit of karma, I guess, for what we've seen earlier in this map. And yeah, suddenly that recovery is not looking so sweet, is it? Money's on the brink. SAW's gonna force up. I guess they know that the CT money isn't brilliant either. But this feels like a big risk. Key round to follow, and SAW, whilst their force buys have seemingly been better than their gun rounds, let's be honest, during this map so far, surely that trend is going to run out at some point.
Early smoke. To keep the control. Seriously, just crept in, and he's going to overwhelm. Or rather, his team's going to overwhelm, to be fair. He's not even needed. 5-on-3, I think you just immediately go to save here. These force buy rounds again from SAW. The quick burst rounds have been ridiculously effective.
I mean, this one is a little bit different. It's not quite so obvious where the mistake is. Maybe Heavy God should be more tucked and ready to trade. I'm not sure.
It's like a micro kind of thing, isn't it, really?
Yeah. They just... Oh, give me PTSD. This.
Man. I do remember the time we were robbed of an Alan Hender map or two there back in the day.
Would have been 5
Yep.
because it was a round robin, so we couldn't even just get eliminated. They've used a couple. They must have a couple pauses left. Endpoint, surely one, and I think now is the time. Why can it never just be easy? I mean, it was easy against Case yesterday by the looks of it, but this is... Have you ever seen a team be up 13-11 and have it be more laboured than this?
It does feel like it's a hard-fought battle, whoever ends up winning it, which I suppose is what we're here for on Inferno. We've got Nuke coming up next. That's saw's pick. So certainly make sure that you stick around for that one. I think our nukes that we've witnessed so far have been a lot of fun. Big nade damage onto Mighty Max on the corner. Oh, how has just not found that? Heavy God bails Nertz out and a lot of return damage as well. So 5 on 4, just like that. Nertz is going to roll away. It's actually looking to be another B hit. They continue to experiment on B, though. Heavy God and Mighty Max right now are the two weakest players, at least in terms of the fragging on this CT side. So B continues to be where they hit up a fail flash of a teammate there, I believe. In for the trades. 3 on 2. Is it enough, though? Nertz is so low.
Oh, Roman's going for it. Look. Through the smoke, and he does get the kill. And gets out of dodge. Now goes back in towards Banana. MHL looks like he's scoped in. Roman might have heard that, so he can take the fight. He just does. Roman's had some monster rounds in this map, hasn't he? And this might even up the map.
So we're going to give it a shot. Smoke goes down towards Banana. That'll get Roman out of the way. I mean, he could. Oh, he could go for the hold. Yeah, there's just no time now that he's decided to clear everything. Needed to find both of them, maybe hidden at new or something along those lines, but it just screwed, basically, and the bomb doesn't even go off. Salt in the wound, but it will be Endpoint. Still with a lead, just about. However, it's not going to hold, is it?
No. No, no, no. Man advantage there. We can't convert. Romans had, I mean, he had that round where he got in through T-Apps and got a, was it 3 or 4K from off the back of the 5-7. That was in the first half. This round, bad is important. So, wow. Okay, well, Heavy God's announced himself.
He's got a deagle on him, that's for sure. Decent nade damage as well to back up. So, again, not a bad spot to be in early, but they have gone for a hard eco on this one, so... Don't really see too much coming for them. They're going to roll all the way around towards the A-bomb site, try and go for a stack play. But literally, sAw just keep going B. They do not make sense, these sAw guys. I think that's the annoying thing for Endpoint. Even when they've been scared off of B, they still go for it.
Yeah, I don't blame them for the stack. This is a really low eco, so... Not going to be. Soon enough, Meteorus is going to call out he can't see anything. And surely the bomb is going to be soon to follow. Clearing the way through. Nothing seen, and this round is over. So a little bit of a tidbit from behind the scenes is that Nertz used to be the B player, the second B player. With Max. Looks like it's Heavy God now. I'm not sure if that change came in upon Heavy God's addition or it's over the player break. I've been very surprised on the CD side how much is Max taking the fight over Heavy God, which doesn't seem wise to me. And yeah, based off what I've seen so far, this B-bomb site is being a little bit problematic right now. They're struggling to come out in big advantages. Honestly, it's Nertz being on the rotates that's bailing them out.
Yeah, pretty much. Something maybe does need to change over there, and whether it changes in this game is the big question, really. Yeah, after such a great first half. If you're wondering,
Nertz, the reason Nertz never liked playing B.
Right.
He's the obvious player to be that, you know, your focal point on B, your you know, Who's a good example? Your Elige or your Kindar back in the day on Verts Pro, this sort of player that's you're always setting up for the fights, but he didn't like it. He didn't like that area of the map for whatever reason, so they're a little bit stuck, I think. Because the guy who should fit the mold, for whatever reasons, just doesn't.
Early nade usage, setting up the conventional banana back and forth. The nade usage, to be fair, from Endpoint, and it creates a bit of a shorter banana with that smoke. I quite like that, actually. They're going to get forced off. Neither team really holding banana at all. So ultimately back to neutral standings as the round goes on.
Does feel like it favors sAw a little bit. As MHL takes it upon himself. Okay, very aggressive. He's a little bit lucky that nobody's close to swing for the trade. I guess the smoke on to Boiler also played its role. And I think sAw are going to go for this. They got too close in apartments. Third is on the way. And look at Surreal. Full anti-flash nerds. I don't think he's going to get caught by flashes too badly either. This is a very good setup.
Early flash. Surreal. Winded up. Nerds, good for one. Here we go. Gonna have this set up tested. Dodgy spray down from Surreal. He does manage to get one, though. Nerds, meanwhile, staying alive in towards Pit. Dropping that bomb with only 30 seconds left. Story's gonna try and overwhelm him. MHL should have the line on it. But, yeah, Roman forced him out into the open. And now are they aware of the AWP? I think they are aware of the AWP that is in towards Library. However, the remaining two teams are completely split. MHL opts to deagle it. Doesn't really work for him. 10 seconds. On plant will come in. Gap close. Oh, it's there. The M4 versus the AK. The AK comes out on top. It's Heavy God all of a sudden by himself after a 3 versus 2. Even a 4 versus 2 that looked really good. And Heavy God's got too many targets. Trade should be here. And it is. Roman gets him. 14 now for sAw.
Big moment.
Oh, God.
Really big moment. I mean, as I was prefacing, I think that setup was pretty good for what was coming. Bit of a laboured spray from Surreal. Admittedly, it's a bit more difficult when they're coming off the balcony and off short at the same time. But yeah. I'm amazed sAw get that over the line. Big, big, big moment. Endpoint. Wow. Starting to crumble here. Starting to really crumble. T-side was brilliant for so much of it. They look so good. And this CT side, despite Nerds, the best efforts of Nerds and Surreal, they just can't seem to get anything together. And again, another smoke has landed on the roof, Scriv. Someone's lineup isn't right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
I think it's a deep banana smoke is my guess, and it must just be clipping slightly wrong or something.
It surely has to get caught from, you know what I mean, like in a corner of the railing or something like that. Anyway, they're pushing in. 3 players ready to go, and 3 players will strike true. Heavy got a Nerds. Israeli boyos making sure that they hold down B.
Overtime? Could be. First match we had today was a slaughter.
Yes.
I mean, even seemingly basically every round Sprout lost, you could see a very easy avenue to it, you know, not being the case. This game has just been it's just been a bar fight, hasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, especially since sAw have been on the T side, Endpoint's T side was a lot slower, thought out, I suppose, using the late rounds, using set rounds, executes, things like that. But yeah, sAw's has been an absolute brawl for sure. No kill's going to come in for that T side, so that's decent enough. They should just about manage money, yeah, for the rest of the game. They will. Endpoint will. It doesn't matter which way it goes. They will have money to buy up. So we'll see. Timeout being used. Might even get 2 stacked on top of each other. Or do we save 1 for a potential overtime?
It's online. It's not such a big consideration. Whilst we're here, I advocate for the extra timeout per overtime.
Yeah, I think I can
Let's
get on
have
board
it.
with that. I mean, why not?
It's an extension of regulation, so why aren't we extending all the aspects of regulation? Irrespective. Here we go. Round 29. We're guaranteed 30. Endpoint. They're going to hate watching this demo back because this game should have been done and dusted. sAw just refusing to die. I mean, yesterday, Babos just couldn't live with them individually. This has been a very different story. Roman, Just, these players have saved them on multiple occasions. Here we go again. Jewel of the Orpers. Story. Oh, can't get the kill. But somewhere in the midst, Nerds has managed to take down the player on Banana.
Yep. Maybe 2 nades stacked on top of each other, it looks like, I think, because I don't think that the Endpoint players were very deep in there at all, so... Yeah, and judging by the angle that he's died, the old airstrike comes in. So Endpoint, edge closer to 15. Not very much closer, though. Definitely still space here for sAw to come back in.
Very, very reserved from sAw. They should have known that Nerds was an A player. They should have sprinted up mid.
Yeah, true. That is true. Get some brackets control.
Yeah, I mean, it was what we saw earlier from Sprout. Sprout were very good. Instant, they felt too much B, they instantly took mid.
This is it where sAw, again, have been playing a little bit nonsensical, I think, because Nerds has been doing that an awful lot, where he'll show presence on B and then immediately sprint to A as though they are going to hit it. And I think what happens is a lot of these rounds, sAw hit tab, and they see that Mighty Max and Heavy God are still not doing so hot, so they're going to hit the B-bomb site once again. Max played a deadly angle around that pillar. It's actually Heavy God who gets 2 at the back end of New Box. So a 3-on-2 for the retake, definitely on the cards, and they will absolutely go for it with the scoreline that we're at. Roman and Story trying to push in, trying to get into that area of Church that's so hard to get past. MHL still has the orb. Maybe need him to lead, but no, he's holding an angle. Smoke comes through. They're going to ignore Church. They've read it pretty well. Looking for control, therefore, in towards... Cool missed shot from Story. Someone's got to get on the bomb quickly, though. Roman needs dealing with, and he will be. There's no kit. Oh, there's no kit. I'm not sure that Nurse has actually got this, you know. This is going to be close.
I'm going to cry.
This.
I am going to cry. Okay.
That's still
MHL
close.
had a kit the
when
whole
you've got a guy
time.
with a kit right next to you, yeah, it's like that's a bit close.
To be fair,
really
they
relying
might
on the
have
accuracy of the 10
They might have
timer.
the game sounds with the
yeah.
music. They might have known.
Sometimes though, it's hard to judge. Depends how loud your kit is. Depends what kit you've got. You know, or I doubt all the boys are running the default kit, right? They'll definitely have one of the funky ones, so it's a risk. Sometimes you can be a bit wrong.
I think I've just aged
And that was
about
only
10
like
years.
half a second. Jesus Christ. Holy moly. Throw some tap dancing in there as well. MHL, though, he's not messing about. His dancing shoes fitting well as he will take down Nutirius on the other side. They might actually end up off the back of that one then, getting the 16-14. We thought this had overtime written all over it. Burst out towards middle. There's nobody around. Mighty Max is somewhat late and somewhat not the A player usually. So he doesn't quite know if he's going to be messing around with setups. It's all MHL at the moment, though. Surreal going to back him. MHL does go down. Surely enough has been done here, though. Down to Just, and he can't get it done. 16-14 over the line. Endpoint, they certainly make it difficult for themselves. That's what you said, wasn't it, Alan? And I think you hit that massive nail right on the head, as did the rest of Endpoint alongside him.
It's the Endpoint way. I mean, I'll tell you what. So I put the jersey on, guys, watching at halftime, and that's when everything went wrong. I was like, I fully jinxed it, and well, I almost did, but we got it over the line, lads. We can calm down. That was